students, we are continuing with the chapter 12, Biotechnology and its application. In this, we are continuing with the topic that is the role of biotechnology in medicines, or we say the applications of biotechnology in medicines. Earlier, we have discussed about the production of insulin, then curing of the disease, that is ADA disease. Okay, now here just we are going to discuss about the molecular diagnosis. How can we diagnose the disease? So what will happen when a person is suffering from any disease? The doctor suggests for the blood test or the urine test. So in that test, doctor, or we say the lab technician, used to take a very small amount of blood from a body. Then that blood is sent to the laboratory where the diagnosis of the blood or the urine sample is done. So now what are the different methods or the techniques which are adopted to diagnose the disease? So first of all, we look over here, this is the polymerase chain reaction. Already we know about the polymerase chain reaction, how it occurs. This we have studied in the previous chapter. So what is polymerase chain reaction? I'm not going to explain this thing, but this polymerase chain reaction is done to increase the concentration of the pathogen, because in the normal blood, okay, the concentration of pathogen is very less, and to detect whether the person is suffering from the disease or not before the symptoms appear. Okay, so to find out the presence of pathogen, the sample is taken and that sample is processed for PCR. The concentration of the pathogen in PCR, it increases, and we can easily diagnose the disease or the presence of a particular pathogen. Now next is the recombinant DNA technology. Everyone knows about the recombinant DNA technology, where we mix the two DNA of two different species. So what is done over here in recombinant DNA technology to diagnose the disease? Single-stranded DNA or RNA tagged with radioactive molecule is allowed to hybridize in its complementary DNA in the clone of cells. That means cells are amplified, and in that cell, single-stranded DNA or RNA, it is tagged with radioactive molecule. So this single-stranded DNA or RNA tagged with radioactive molecule is called as probe. So first of all, probe is made, and this probe is inserted in or allowed to hybridize in the complementary DNA in the clone of cells. So now when these cells, it is hybridized, then what will happen? These cells, after this complete process, after the hybridization, then these cells are detected by autoradiography. So in autoradiography, photographic film is used. So detection is done through the photographic film. So autoradiography is done, and the cell with the mutated gene will not be observed. That means the defected gene will not be observed under the photographic film, and because the probe was not complementary to the mutated gene. So in this way we can find out the mutated gene, or we can find out the defected gene or the defected cell. So this is the recombinant DNA technology. The first one is polymerase chain reaction, and third one is the ELISA test. ELISA. ELISA. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is done for antigen antibody interaction, and it is usually done for the detection of HIV virus. So with blood sample is done, and this test is done to find out the interaction between the antigen and antibody. So these are the three techniques which is done for molecular diagnosis of a disease. Now students, the next application of biotechnology is in the field of medicine is stem cell technology. As you all know about the stem cells, that stem cells are the undifferentiated cells which have the capability to multiply and have the capability to form any cell, any tissue or organ of the organism body. These stem cells, they are usually collected from the umbilical cord blood just after birth, means when the child has taken birth. During that time, umbilical cord is connected to the infant, to the baby, along with the placenta. And when the baby is delivered from the mother's womb, then umbilical cord along with placenta comes out of the mother's womb. So during that time, umbilical cord contains the blood, because this blood forms the connection between the fetus and the mother. So during that time, this umbilical cord, from this umbilical cord, blood is taken, and this blood sample, it has the stem cells. So these stem cells, they are preserved, and in future, if that baby, when it develop into an adult, require any kind of organ transplant, so these stem cells can be used to form that organ for that person. And here, when these organs are formed and these are transplanted in that person's body, then there is no issue of immunity, because as we had studied earlier, that when organ transplantation is done, then during that time immunosuppressant are provided or given to the patient, so that the immune system of the patient does not reject the transplanted organ or does not go for graft rejection. So to avoid this condition, here we are having the stem cell technology. Now just have a brief look over here. Stem cells. Stem cells are the undifferentiated cells, can differentiate into specialized cells, can divide to produce new stem cells, and also give rise to different cells or tissues. So these are found in multicellular organisms. Stem cells can be taken from the umbilical cord blood just after birth and used for the treatment of diabetes, heart diseases, spinal cord injury and cancer. As well as this is used for the production of the organs in the laboratory, and these organs are transferred or transplanted into the patient body. So this is about the stem cell technology. Now students, after the applications of biotechnology in medicines, now we are going to discuss about the transgenic animals. You all know about the transgenic animals, how they are produced. That means the genes of one organism are transferred into the other organism, so that the new character can be seen or observed. So look over here, the definition of transgenic animals: animals having manipulated DNA to express an extra gene. Okay, so this is being done by, that is, rabbits, rats, pigs, sheep, cow, etc. These animals, they have been produced by this treatment, that is transgenic animals. So now what is there? So reasons for developing transgenic animals. What was the basic reason behind the development of these transgenic animals? Why scientists work to produce the transgenic animals? Now here are few reasons over here, just have a look. First is study of normal physiology and development, means how the body of a human organism works, how the characters of, or we say the different organs work, what is the role of different hormones in the body. So all this normal functioning is studied by developing these transgenic animals. The next is study of diseases. So when the person is suffering from any disease, any organism is suffering from disease, then these transgenic animals helps in the study of expression of the reason behind the disease. The next is biological products, means the human products can be obtained from these transgenic animals. For example, like human milk, or we say the mother, the one who delivers the baby, the colostrum, okay, is present in the mother's milk. But apart from that, other milk is also, means other components are also present. So here what has happened, that genes from the human body are incorporated into the animal and then the products can be obtained. So just see here, transgenic cow was produced and first transgenic cow was Rosie, and in this human milk protein is added, which that is alpha lactalbumin. Okay, so this protein was incorporated into the transgenic animal, transgenic cow Rosie, results in the production of the milk which contain this human protein. And the other example is over here, human protein alpha 1 antitrypsin. This was used in the treatment of emphysema. Emphysema is a respiratory disease. So for its treatment, this human protein was prepared by transgenic animal, and these biological products are obtained from these animals, transgenic animals. The next one is the for vaccine safety. First of all, what will happen, whatever the vaccine is developed, that vaccine is tested on the animals, and if it is shows the positive effect, then it is applied on the human beings. So just earlier, whatever polio vaccine was there, it was tested on mice. So nowadays, when corona vaccine, we all are expecting about the corona vaccine. So here that we used to read the news in the newspaper that vaccine is being tested or it will come. So what will happen when a new vaccine comes, it is first tested on the transgenic animals, and when it is approved, that means it does not show any adverse effect, then it is used on the human beings. And the next one is the chemical safety testing. Transgenic animals, they are sensitive to the chemicals. So what will happen when particular chemical testing is done, then the result is shown earlier, or we get the result before as compared to the animals, other animals with a normal gene. So these are the reasons for developing the transgenic animals. Now students, here we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is ethical issues. So what is the reason behind the discussion of ethical issues? So we know that by recombinant DNA we are developing the new organisms. By transgenic animals we are developing the animals with different characters, and this creates the problem, because what has happened that when these animals or these organisms, we say that these genetically modified organisms, they are allowed to adapt in the, or they are allowed to live in the ecosystem along with the other animals or organisms, then what will happen? The other animals may be the it may happen that the animals, normally those who are existing nowadays, they may get affected from the presence of these transgenic animals, because they have the advanced character or specific character, because we have incorporated that character in their body. So the question comes that how these organisms will survive. Second is that in India, or we say about the Indian government has established an organization has been established by the Indian government named GEAC, that is Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, this was organized by the Indian government to check on the work done on transgenic animals and to check whether these animals or these genetically modified organisms may not cause any harm to the natural ecosystem. If this happens, then it will create a great imbalance in the nature. So that's why ethical issues are concerned regarding the transgenic animals or transgenic organisms. It is to be taken care properly, or we say the utmost care is to be taken regarding the gene manipulation or transfer of gene while creating the genetic modified organisms.